What's up, guys? Welcome back. So, Infernable Knights, they lost ISOLDE, which, again, rightfully so. It's a card that I think has been on my banlist radar for years, right? And, you know, with more and more cards, power creep, it just was a matter of time that the card would get the X. This is the current list, and huge shout out to Peck. We'll leave the link to the original video in the video description. I was already testing Infernable Knights for today, but it's the Super Heavy Samurai package that got me there. And again, I will leave his original video. It was also posted today in the video description. So again, check that out for soul. How do you say it? Like soul purpose combos. Like what can you do with only one Wakaushi, for example? My build is a little bit different. Made some small changes to my likings. For example, I added in Fenrir over Connector and Dolphin. Dolphin is perfect, right? Going first, potentially picking a Droll and Lockbird from your opponent's hand. But on the other hand, potentially going second and going first as well with Fenrir into the level 4. It opens up more flexible plays. You'll see why. Other options. I've been trying to use the new IP, the level 5 synchro from what is it, World Chalice, but you're just making too many bricks. I don't think it's worth it. This is just perfect. Your Infernable Knight package is all most of the time one-offs. What is it, Renault? Renault, I think, is just a 3-off, obviously, right? Because of special summoning effect and recurrence from the graveyard. While the rest, I think, are just fine as a one-off. A couple of things to note is that the amount of spells, as in equip spells, are at the absolute minimum. There's only 2. You know, what is it, Durandal, the one that searches, and the equip spell that gets something back from graveyard and also equips something from deck, for example, or grave, yeah. Which is needed, because you want to get, in most situations, you want to get that out for Almashe, to get it in the graveyard, potentially, banish that one, to potentially go for your, the Gearfried, right, to potentially negate more monster effects. So, throughout these testing videos, duels, I've been changing the extra deck a little bit, adding in Omega, dropping Omega, adding in the second level 9. I think the second level 9 is needed for more follow-up play, if your opponent is able to break the board. At least from my knowledge, from what I know. And eventually I dropped Omega from the extra deck as well. I like this XL Stardust to potentially go for Baron. The only level 2 tuner you're playing is from the Super Heavy Samurai package. But it's there, it comes up, it came up a couple of times. So, it speaks for itself. The Super Heavy Samurai engine is there because, first of all, it's mind-blowingly consistent to get off one Wakaushi. And, one Wakaushi is an easy level 5 synchro play. And, I mean, for this deck, level 5 synchro play, one level 5 synchro play is basically full combo. Again, depending on which extenders you have, and you're running Dempsey as well, which basically searches any Infernable Knight from the deck, your level 1 Renault, and that gets the ball rolling. Plus, you also have a Pendulum Summon ready, so you could potentially Pendulum Summon your, any Ogier or whatever, set up your graveyard, and then still have your normal summon later in the turn for potential, I don't know, keep extending, rank 4 exceeds, go for Masquerina, you already have Charles for a spell and trap negation, so this is all fine, this is cute. Plus, Destruction, because you have the Roland in graveyard, right? So this is really cool. Plus, I mean, with, what is it, the next TCG set, Phantom Nightmare, this deck not alone, but other decks will get the more generic support as well, and the deck will just get better. And Little Knight is just, again, fantastic. It's very easy to make with Masquerina. It's probably just going to be, those being splashed into the more generic boards from basically any deck, any different deck, making Masquerina into Little Knight, basically ending their first turn most of the time. So going for Apo, you have, what is it, Charles on field, the level 9 synchro. I need more space in my spell and trap card, so yeah, equipping the level 1 wasn't that needed. I mean, it's basically just another extra deck, not a potential negation with your Gearfried or a monster that you can special summon off of the field spell. But here in this case it wasn't needed. So, okay, a couple of problems I've had with the deck. So there's no ISOLDE. So I don't think there's any reason to, run Phoenix Blade and more equips like Living Fossil. So the amount of equips are at an absolute minimum. So that's something to keep in mind and keep track of. Is because, again, the field spell, as you know, it only works when you're able to search one of your equips, one of those two, And then, you know, you can special summon a monster that's equipped from your spell and trap card zone, etc. But if you're out of equips from your deck, then you can't use that effect. And even though you're running that Pot of Avarice like Infernable Knight, it comes up. It's a very solid one. It's also once per turn. I think it's needed. You could replenish your equips from the graveyard and banished pile. But I'm maybe eager to add in more equips. Maybe. Might be. Because on one hand, it kind of increases the deck count. It gives you less chances to kind of draw the bricks, as in, you know, the Kashtira level 4, Rise Art. But on the other hand, it kind of increases the consistency because it gives you more searches, right? But it makes you weak to draw, more weak. This was also an okay one, so go second. And this is why I prefer Fenrir over potential Neospatian, Connector and Dolphin. Is Fenrir again puts pressure on your opponent, especially going second against fire decks. Again, probably the best decks in the current format, you know, January 2024. And yeah, just Fenrir pushes, it pushes, and it's basically a big beat stick on field. Potentially can be used for synchro plays. There was a time I was running Omega as well, but I dropped it eventually. So go for the, I mean, some standard plays. Charles hits the field for, you know, spell negation. Equip, I still have the pop. Drop Gear Freed for more monster effect negations. That's the thing, right? This is such a far heavy combo deck that it takes a lot of time to get off these combos. So search another field spell, yeah, because already, at least I only have one equip spell left in the deck. Almachi, I believe the name is. This gives me the opportunity to use a field spell again, different copy, which opens up Baron play, even though I'm locked into fires, or no, warriors, right? Yeah, warrior, I think. Baron is a warrior, so quite conveniently going for a Baron play, another Omni negation, the Synchro return, so that's easy, or could be an easy Masquerina into IP play, but again, I was locked in warriors, right, for that turn. And here, I make a mistake. This game should have been over much sooner. I use Gearfried on, what is it, what's the name of the level 8? Ah, you know which one I mean, the green one. And I forgot that Gearfried also destroys. That's my mistake. Like, there is nothing wrong with using that effect, and then, you know, Fenrir can just banish the monster eventually, and then it's game over, right? But my mistake. There is... It's fine though, I can, you know, recover from this. Doesn't really matter too much. The Anima is getting destroyed off of the equip, Roland equip, and of course the Charles pop. This, I guess, what is it, the Typhon. Typhon hurts a little bit, but I mean, next turn, all high level monsters are indeed negated, so no Baron nor no Gearfried. So I think my lines here are eventually going for another Little Knight, banishing the Typhon, and then establish my board. I can't attack for a game, but I mean, with this board, low resources from my opponent, this should be more than enough, right? At least to attack for a game next turn. So there is a Little Knight. Baron is not live, but again, monster attack negation. Charles for interruption. Charlemagne, yeah. Last example again, Wakaushi, one card combo, sick. Sick that this is so consistent, even though, you know, it's could be kinda hand trap weak, but on the other hand, it forces out hand traps from your opponent, and that makes your main deck engines live. So I think it's fine. So easy level 5 synchro play, and again, you can just go for your standard Infernal Knight combos. This is cute. I think it's this replay. Is it this one? So again, using the search, yeah, going for normal summon Ogre or Pendulum summon it, 2 special summons, 2 level 4s, potentially Omega, and here, you know, Imperm targets, so, no, the Imperm is kept this time, okay, yeah, that's cool, and that's a small bummer, that's one hand trap, but sadly wasn't able to get Roland on field, you don't get Roland in circulation, so some different plays. Charles hits the field for more negation. What are some options? I do have an interruption during my end phase for another draw. Roland hits the field because of its regular synchro summon, so that's cool. It sets it up in the graveyard and of course gives me an interruption during their turn, right? Because you can equip it. So a couple of draws, potentially drawing into more hand traps like Joel, like Ash. I should probably have gone for Troll if I think, now that I think of it. Yeah, probably. I mean, it's fine though. Garonix hits the field. Not able to use Little Knight, sadly. So I'm going to lose Little Knight in this situation. The board is cleared as well. So, I mean, eventually it's fine. But again, this is also one of those examples that... yeah. I think in this duel I was running only one Charles, Charlemagne level 9 Synchro in my extra deck, and I was working towards that, and I was like, oh, I'm only playing one. So it's going to take a long time, these combos, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Ah, yes. All of those draws. Finally go for Anima, potentially threatening the back row as well with the Little Knight. The back row is forced out, so now we can finally, you know, go for our standard combos. Equip. Special summon. Again, there is no level 9 synchro play because I was only running one. Go for Little Knight, there it is. Banish the Garonix as well. Send my level 9 back to the extra deck, drop Gear Feed, and this should be my duel, at least for next turn, right? You're not coming back from this. So it's definitely fun. You're missing Isolde, sure, but the deck is now, I mean, it can fairly do the same stuff, but of course much weaker. It's of course much different compared to the Isolde build that we've had before for years. But again, huge shout out to Pack. We'll leave a link to the original video in the video description. I like the deck. I like the deck a lot. And this, you know, it will become much better after Phantom Nightmare. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks so much. Feel free to leave a like. If you enjoyed the video, leave a shout out. Peace.